20 years. 2 whole decades since the last time the RSX badge rolled off a production line. 20 years since the last kid with a dream, a wrench, and a second-hand Acura sat in a driveway on a warm night and made that car their identity, their freedom, their escape. The RSX wasn't just a car. It was a rite of passage. The beginning of obsessions. A character arc on wheels. And now, like a ghost returning from the shadows, the RSX name reappears, not quietly, not nostalgically, but explosively, in the form of the Acura RSX EV. It doesn't whisper, "Remember me." It roars, "Watch what I've become." The world is different now. Engines don't scream like they used to. Exhaust fumes aren't the scent of rebellion anymore. Torque comes without a heartbeat. But Acura didn't just build another electric car. They engineered a challenge. A middle finger wrapped in steel and electrons. A declaration that performance doesn't die. It adapts, it evolves, it grows sharper. Look at it. Just look at it. The RSX EV sits low, dramatic, almost predatory. Long hood, tightly compressed cabin, and a rear end that curves like a sculptor carved it with rage and precision. This isn't a design made to blend in with the polite little jellybean EVs populating the suburbs. This thing stares at you like it's deciding whether to drag race you or run you over. The lights, oh, the lights. Thin, slicing LED signatures that look like Acura sharpened lightning and fitted it into the housing. It's not a face, it's a glare, an attitude, an accusation. Why did you ever doubt I'd return? The paint carries depth. Shadows flow over the body lines like liquid. Every crease is intentional, engineered, sculpted with wind tunnels and late-night brainstorming sessions where designers probably argued about millimeters. This isn't a mass-market blob. The RSX EV looks like the kind of concept car you'd swear would never make production, and yet somehow here it is, alive, physical, undeniable. And then, there's the stance. Wide hips, pinned to the road confidence. The kind of posture that tells you, before you even touch the wheel, that this machine was born for corners. You can feel energy radiating off it, silent, dangerous. Slide inside. Everything goes quiet, but not dead. The cabin feels like a performance cockpit designed by people who spent too many hours at racetracks imagining the future. Thin pillars, high beltline, a digital cluster that curves slightly toward you like it's listening. Seats that hug you, but not with luxury, with intent. The steering wheel is thick, flat-bottomed, textured. It feels like a handshake from an old friend you thought you'd never see again. Hit the start button. There's no engine growl. There's no vibration. But there is something, a soft hum, like a creature inhaling before the strike. The RSX EV wakes up with confidence, as if aware of the legacy it carries. You tap the pedal, and that's when reality cracks. The acceleration is instantaneous, violent in a way early EVs never were, because this one doesn't feel digital, it feels mechanical, even though it isn't. Acura tuned this motor like they were chasing the ghost of VTEC, trying to recreate that surge, that climb, that feeling of something unlocking inside the power band. Except now, there is no power band. There's only now, instant torque, instant thrust, instant chaos. The RSX EV doesn't push you into the seat, it sucker punches you. Your breath leaves your chest. The world snaps backward. The horizon rushes toward you like it's on a bungee cord. This isn't EV fast. This is, oh, I wasn't ready for that, fast. And the chassis. Dear God, the chassis, how did they make a battery-powered car feel light? It rotates like the weight doesn't exist. Turn the wheel, and the RSX EV responds with eagerness, hunger. There's no hesitation, no clumsy understeer, no arrogance. It feels dialed in, like Acura actually remembered what made the original RSX such a cult classic. The regenerative braking is tuned tighter than most performance EVs. Not grabby, not artificial, but controlled, almost organic. You can drive aggressively with one pedal, carving through curves like you're sculpting your own race line. And when you push it harder, really push, that's when the magic shows up. The rear motor nudges power outward, balancing the chassis beautifully. The front grips with tenacity. The entire car behaves like it's alive, responding to you, learning from you, provoking you. It feels familiar, not in the way it sounds, because it barely makes a sound. Not in the way it shifts, because it doesn't shift. Not in the smell of gasoline, because there is none. It feels familiar because the RSX EV has attitude. The same attitude the original RSX had when kids bolted on cold air intakes and felt like kings. The same attitude that made every tunnel an event, every curve a challenge, every red light a moment of truth. The RSX EV is built with that same philosophy. Driving isn't a to be. Driving is emotion. Driving is identity. Driving is you. Inside, the interior goes beyond tech for the sake of tech. It feels curated, driver-focused, clean, but not empty, minimal, but not sterile. The central screen doesn't blind you. The ambient lighting doesn't look like a nightclub. Everything is subtle, until it needs to be dramatic. The sound system, engineered by people who clearly care, fills the cabin with clarity so sharp it feels like you're inside the music. But the real soundtrack is the faint electric whine under heavy acceleration. That spaceship-like growl that becomes addictive after a few launches. Storage, reasonable. Rear space, forgettable. It's basically a place to store backpacks, regrets, and people you don't like. Range, decent but not revolutionary. You'll get enough for daily life, spirited drives, and even road trips. But hardcore EV nerds will complain. Let them. This car wasn't made for spreadsheets. It was made for drivers. And then there's the design language, one of the strongest statements Acura has made in decades. This isn't the MDX. It isn't the RDX. It isn't the Integra with a confused identity crisis. This is something else. The RSX EV looks like a car Acura built with pride, and maybe some anger. As if they were tired of being overlooked. Tired of people saying the brand lacked direction. Tired of critics saying Acura forgot how to build exciting cars. This car is their answer. Every sharp angle screams defiance. Every curve whispers confidence. Every detail feels intentional. The rear light bar stretches across like a smirk. Like the car knows something you don't. The brake lights pulse softly when you lock the car, almost like a heartbeat. Aerodynamic vents channel air with precision. Even the wheels look like they belong on a concept car from 2030. And then you drive it again. Each time, you discover something new. A sharper rotation. A firmer bite from the tires. A quicker snap of acceleration. The RSX EV rewards bravery. The more you trust it, the more it gives you. Is it perfect? No. Nothing with a soul ever is. The price will sting. The charging network, well, depends where you live. The weight, though managed brilliantly, still exists. And the purists, the old-timers who worship the original RSX, will complain. They'll say it's not the same. That EVs aren't real cars. That Acura betrayed the heritage. But those people forget something. The RSX was never defined by its engine. It was defined by how it made you feel. Fast, fearless, free. And the RSX EV brings that feeling back. Not by copying the old formula, but by reinventing it. By proving that electric performance can have personality, aggression, identity. This isn't a nostalgia act. This isn't a tribute band. This is not the RSX you grew up with. This is the RSX your future self was waiting for. So here's the truth. The Acura RSX EV isn't a comeback. It's a rebirth, a metamorphosis, a new chapter with the same rebellious spirit that defined the original. Acura didn't just bring the legend back. They evolved it, and as you walk away from it, hearing the quiet tick of cooling motors, seeing its taillights fade into the night, one thought hits you. Electric doesn't mean emotionless. Silent doesn't mean soulless. The future doesn't mean the past is dead. The RSX EV is proof that the soul of driving isn't tied to fuel. It's tied to passion. And passion is alive and well.